This week's episode of Killing Bites can be summarized in 3 words. 6 to midnight. This week's episode of Killing Bites was, dare I say it, the perfect realization of what the series is all about, which is hardcore sex and violence. This episode was just dripping with it. There's no way to talk about this episode without talking about the big Hitomi and Erza hookup scene. They basically just start having sex right there on the spot. And that's thanks to this new character who is that one female who's actually joined up with Erza and the tiger, which is really strange why she's in this situation. She's trying to take advantage of this using her pheromones. I actually didn't know that much about civets. I actually had to look them up a little bit after this episode, but they're these weird furry creatures which emit these pheromones, which is basically like an airborne aphrodisiac. So, you get that stuff swirling around Erza and Hitomi, and boom, they start going to town on one another, and it's very, very blatant. It's basically soft-core porn. So, if you're willing to accept that for what it is, then you're going to like it. Hell, I think this episode right here might have been tailor-made for teenagers who are going through puberty. It's insane, and it's only so egregious because it goes on for so long. Like 1/4 of this episode is dedicated to Erza and Hitomi's hentai scene, basically. And it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, though. It's kind of hot. Now that I'm done sounding like a creep, let's talk about some of the other parts about this episode, like the fact that Kido punched a crocodile man through the head. This is some Fist of the North Star stuff. This episode, as sexually charged as it was, also had like some of the best action that I've seen from the series, and the introduction of Kido was really freaking great. The dude does not even transform at all in this battle. The crocodile tries to attack him, but he blocks all of his moves, and I can't tell if he's actually partially transforming. It looks like the part of his skin has gotten slightly darker, but I can't tell if this is like some sort of armor or something. Maybe he's a turtle. Maybe he's an armadillo. I don't know what this guy is, but he doesn't even really transform into an animal of any kind that is at least discernible, but he's so powerful that he punches the crocodile right through the head. Like, his fist goes through to the other side. It's insane. And then when he's done doing that, he then just pummels his head continuously into the ground because, of course, this would make great fertilizer. I mean, he does love the trees and the animals, so I guess he is doing something good for Mother Nature here. But this scene was a great establisher to show that this guy is hard freaking core and might even be the most powerful guy in the Destroy All at the moment. But they're doing a great job of keeping him mysterious. We also get to see more of Gorilla in action, which is fantastic. I knew that he didn't get hit too bad by Tiger's attack. You could see that he just barely escaped getting, like, his freaking lower chin just slashed by this guy. But I'm glad that we finally got to see more of him in action, and even some more of the hippo, which is just really, really great. But every single time I start to think about this episode, my mind just keeps going back to Hitomi and Erza. That scene was just so ridiculous and over the top, and it's a shame, too, because I was really hoping that we would get a solid battle between these two, because the gecko ends up just running away. She is instructed by her player to actually move. She ends up going in the forest, and then Tiger just takes her out in one shot. So after Crocodile, freaking creepy Cobra Man, and Gecko Girl, Team Reptile is done. Sumitomo is basically out of the Destroy All. And now we have all of these other things to look forward to, but I really just cannot wait to see more. But there's a lot of other little things about this episode that I want to talk about in the rundown of this week's episode of Killing Bites. Now, while this series is definitely easy to make fun of because it's basically just good, trashy anime fun, I will say there are some production things in this series that I think are handled really well. One, the characters' facial expressions. That one girl, Yoko, of the Mitsukado clan, I believe that's the clan that she's from, the one with the weird, creepy grandfather who's been influenced by Shido. She has some of the best expressions that I've seen from the series, and they always just exemplify the emotion that she's feeling, and there are so many different versions of that in this episode, where she's happy, confident, pissed, just really, really angry at the fact that all of these old dudes are just eating up the fact that Hitomi and Erza are eating each other up. It's just ridiculous. She just like slams her fist down and everybody's just immediately quiet. Yeah. But this episode right here, I mean, everybody's just going to be talking about Hitomi and Erza. That's the thing that kind of makes this episode right here. If you're into that type of thing, it's pretty freaking awesome. I don't think it needed to go on as long as it actually did, and some of the scenes just looked so ridiculous. There's a moment where it looked like Erza was practically like eating Hitomi's face. It's ridiculous. So much fan service. And right after this, I got to review Darling in the Franxx, and that was a beach episode. So watching these two series back to back with all the fan service is just kind of crazy. What I will say is this was a fun, super sexy episode of Killing Bites, and like my previous reviews, like I said, if you were offended by the other ones, you're probably not going to like this one, especially this one right here. But I can't wait to see how this is all eventually going to end. I can't wait to see more of Kido in action, and to see who's going to come on top at the Destroy All, and to see if this is going to lead into anything fun in the future. While I don't think Killing Bites is breaking the mold in terms of really anything, it's still a really fun show to watch. I love it a lot. It's like a combination of Bloody Roar and Terraform Mars. It's both of those things realized in anime form, and if you take that for what it is, you're going to like this show. And that's why I'm going to give this episode a 4 out of 5. I'm knocking it down, not because I didn't like the big, super steamy scene between Erza and Hitomi. I just felt that it went on a little too long. I don't know. It just felt a little egregious, in my opinion. That being said, I still think this was a solid addition. The pacing of this arc has been pretty slow, and considering that I think the season's only going to be 12 episodes, I'm guessing that's what most of this is going to actually comprise of, is this big Destroy All. But if it's as exciting as everything we've seen here, maybe they can amp it up a little bit more as we get closer to the finale of Killing Bites. So there it is, 4 out of 5 from me. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the episode. You can tell me all of them in the comments section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of Killing Bites. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more anime reviews. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.